What if an insult held no power over you? What if the disrespectful words of others could pass over you like a gentle breeze, leaving your inner peace entirely undisturbed? This is not a superpower, but a trainable skill, a form of defiant tranquility. This is the Stoic path. Stay calm when disrespected. Control reaction. Stoicism. Compiled and published by Stoic ruler. Lesson 1. Silent strength in the face. Imagine a great, unshakable mountain. Storms assail it. Winds howl at its peaks, and rain lashes its stony face, yet it remains unmoved, its core solid and its presence undiminished. Now imagine this mountain is your own mind in the face of disrespect. This is the inner conflict we all experience, the jarring clash between our desire for tranquility and the stinging heat that rises when we feel slighted or insulted. A careless word, a condescending tone, a dismissive gesture, these things can feel like a personal attack, a sudden storm that threatens to shatter our composure. The pain of this experience lies in the feeling of powerlessness, the sense that an external actor can reach inside us and dictate our emotional state, turning our inner world into a tempest of anger and humiliation. The transformative solution is to cultivate a profound and potent silence, not a silence of weakness or submission, but a silence of immense strength and deliberate choice. This is the silent strength of the mountain, which does not need to roar back at the storm to prove its power. The core idea, a jewel of Stoic wisdom, is that our true invulnerability lies within our own judgment. The insult itself is merely sound waves in the air or pixels on a screen. It is our assent to the idea that we have been harmed that gives it life. By choosing silence, by refusing to dignify the disrespect with an immediate emotional reaction, we assert our own authority over our inner kingdom and declare that our peace is not for sale at so cheap a price. To begin weaving this silent strength into the fabric of your character, you must practice the art of the noble pause. When the sting of disrespect arrives, your first, most critical action is to do nothing. Do not speak. Do not type. Do not even allow your facial expression to betray the inner storm. Instead, turn your focus to your breath. Feel the air enter your lungs and then slowly leave. In this small pocket of time, you are severing the automatic link between stimulus and reaction. You are consciously choosing to remain still, like the mountain, allowing the initial emotional flurry to pass over you without taking root. This is not about suppressing emotion, but about refusing to be governed by it. It is a quiet, powerful declaration that you are in control. The benefits of mastering this practice are profound. You will begin to carry yourself with a new kind of gravitas, a serene confidence that cannot be easily shaken by the opinions or actions of others. People will sense that your composure is not a fragile mask, but a deep-seated strength. You will conserve the immense emotional energy you once spent on futile arguments and hurt feelings, redirecting it toward your own growth and purpose. Your challenge, your call to action, is to seek an opportunity to practice this silence today. Treat any minor slight or irritation not as an annoyance, but as a training ground for your spirit. View this journey as the continuous process of building your inner mountain, one moment of quiet strength at a time. This silent strength is rooted in understanding what is truly being attacked. It is often not you, but a phantom we call the ego. In our next lesson, we will dissect this false offense and learn to see disrespect for what it truly is. To continue forging this unbreakable spirit, subscribe to Stoic Ruler and comment below on a time when silence served you better than words. Lesson 2. Ego and the false offense. Picture a proud king, adorned in fine robes, who flies into a rage if a commoner fails to bow. The king is not angered by a genuine threat, but by a perceived slight to his status, his image. This king is the human ego. This is the relatable inner conflict at the heart of our reactions to disrespect. The battle between our true, rational self and the fragile, demanding ego that constantly seeks validation. The problem arises because we mistake the ego for our true self. We believe its insecurities are our insecurities, its vanities are our values. Therefore, when someone's words or actions challenge this constructed image, we feel a deep personal wound. The pain is the exhausting, never-ending work of defending a fictional character, a constant state of high alert against anything that might question our perceived importance. The transformative solution is to intellectually and emotionally separate your true self from your ego. It is to recognize the ego for what it is: a collection of social masks, insecurities, and attachments to external opinions. The core Stoic idea, championed by philosophers like Epictetus, is that our true worth comes from our character, our virtues, and our rational choices, all of which are internal and untouchable by others. An insult can only harm the ego. It cannot touch the serene fortress of the self unless we grant it permission. By understanding this distinction, the offense becomes false. It is an arrow shot at a phantom, and we are no longer obligated to feel its impact. This realization brings with it an immense sense of freedom and lightness. To apply this liberating concept, you must become a student of your own ego. When you feel the sting of disrespect, pause and ask with genuine curiosity, what exactly feels attacked right now? Is it your intelligence, your appearance, your social standing? Trace the feeling to its root, and you will almost always find the ego holding a sign with its demands. See it not as you, but as a separate, rather anxious entity within you. You can even give it a name. By observing its antics with a detached amusement, you strip it of its power. You can acknowledge its reaction. The ego feels threatened because its intelligence was questioned, without identifying with it. This creates a powerful buffer of awareness. As you practice detaching from the ego, you will experience a profound shift in your emotional landscape. The world will seem less threatening, and you will interact with others with a newfound sense of ease and confidence. You will no longer be playing the exhausting game of defending your image. The positive transformation is a move from fragile pride to genuine humility and unshakable self-respect, a respect that is not dependent on the praise or blame of others. Your practice is to spend this week observing your ego in action. Notice when it feels pleased by praise or pricked by criticism. Simply watch it without judgment. This is a continuous process of discovering the calm, powerful self that lies beneath the noisy demands of the ego. Once we see the ego as the source of the false offense, we must train ourselves to break the lightning-fast connection between a slight and our reaction. In the next lesson, we will explore the practical art of detaching from our instant reactions. If you found this insight valuable, please like this video and share your thoughts on the distinction between the self and the ego. Lesson 3. Detaching from instant reactions. Imagine a perfectly still pond, its surface a flawless mirror of the sky. A single pebble is tossed in and instantly ripples spread across the entire surface, distorting the reflection into chaos. This pebble is an act of disrespect, and the ripples are our immediate, unthinking emotional reaction. This is the inner conflict we face, the instantaneous hijacking of our inner peace by an external trigger. A snide comment, a dismissive look. These pebbles are tossed into our minds, and before we have a moment to think, the waters are muddied with anger, shame, or resentment. The problem is that this reaction is so swift, it feels inseparable from the event itself. We collapse the space between stimulus and response into a single explosive moment, surrendering our autonomy in a flash of temper. The pain is the loss of control, the feeling of being a puppet whose strings are pulled by anyone who knows which buttons to push. The transformative solution lies in learning to consciously detach from this instant reaction, to witness the pebble entering the water without becoming the ripples. It is the practice of creating and holding a space of pure observation in the critical moments following a trigger. The core idea, central to all Stoic practice, is that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose our response. By mastering the art of detachment, we inhabit this space. We learn to watch the initial emotional impulse arise, the heat, the tension, the urge to retaliate, as if it were a weather pattern, an event happening within us but separate from our core identity. We are the sky, not the storm cloud. The actionable step to cultivate this detachment is to practice what the Stoics called provocation, or the attitude of attention. It begins by making a firm resolution. When I feel disrespected, my first job is to observe. When the moment comes, shift your identity from the one who is insulted to the one who is watching the feeling of being insulted. Notice the physical sensations with clinical precision. Where is the anger in your body? Is it a tightness in your chest? A heat in your face? Observe these sensations as pure energy without layering a story of injustice on top of them. This conscious, non-judgmental observation is the wedge that creates open the space between stimulus and response, preventing the automatic reaction from taking full control. Highlighting the benefits, this practice will lead to a profound mastery over your emotional life. You will cease to be easily provoked. The actions of others will lose their power to disturb your inner equilibrium. This is the essence of becoming unshakable. The positive transformation is one of profound empowerment, as you realize that nothing external can truly harm you without your internal consent. Your motivational practice exercise is to start small. For the next few days, practice this detachment with minor annoyances. Slow internet, a long queue. Use these low-stakes moments to train your observation muscle. This is the continuous daily work of liberating yourself from the tyranny of instant reaction. Detaching from the reaction is a defensive maneuver. But how do we build a permanent structure of inner peace? In our next lesson, we will explore the concept of holding the inner fortress, a sanctuary that disrespect cannot breach. To continue this essential training, subscribe to the Stoic Ruler channel and share in the comments what you observe when you detach from a reaction. Lesson 4. Holding the inner fortress. Think of your mind as a citadel, a fortified city with high walls and vigilant guards. Within these walls lies your true self, your reason, your tranquility. Outside, the world is chaotic and unpredictable. This is the metaphor for the inner conflict between our serene inner world and the external chaos that constantly seeks to breach our defenses. The problem is that we often leave the gates of our fortress wide open. We allow the opinions, insults, and negativity of others to march right in and wreak havoc, effectively handing over control of our most precious territory. The pain of this is a feeling of constant vulnerability, of being psychologically exposed and undefended against the casual cruelty or thoughtlessness of the world. The transformative solution is to consciously and deliberately learn how to hold this inner fortress. This means recognizing that you are the sole commander of this citadel and that you have the power to decide what enters and what remains outside. The core Stoic idea, articulated beautifully by Marcus Aurelius, is that our inner world, our ruling center, is a place of refuge that we can retreat to at any moment to find peace. Disrespect, insults, and misfortune are external events. They can lay siege to the fortress, but they cannot breach the walls unless we, the commanders, lower the drawbridge by giving our assent and becoming emotionally disturbed. Holding the fortress is the active, moment-to-moment decision to protect our inner calm. The practical steps to holding your fortress involve building and reinforcing its walls daily. This begins with your morning mindset. Before you engage with the world, remind yourself of your fortress. You might say, "Today I will meet with rude and ungrateful people, but they cannot harm my character or disturb my peace, for my inner fortress is secure." Throughout the day, when you encounter a potential breach, an insult, a frustration, mentally retreat to your citadel. Use a physical anchor, like touching your thumb and forefinger together, as a trigger to remind you to return to the fortress. In that moment of retreat, you reaffirm your commitment to reason and refuse to let the external chaos become internal turmoil. The profound benefit of this practice is the cultivation of a truly resilient and sovereign spirit. You will develop what the Stoics called euthymia, or a state of cheerful tranquility, knowing that your well-being is not contingent on external events. You become a sanctuary for yourself and often for others around you. This transformation is one from being a victim of circumstance to being the calm, unshaken commander of your own soul. Your call to action is to begin identifying the gates of your fortress. What are the triggers that most easily let negativity in? Awareness is the first step to installing a guard. View the continuous journey of life as the process of strengthening your fortifications each and every day. Once our fortress is secure, we can then choose to engage with the world from a position of strength. This includes how we use our words. In our next lesson, we will explore the art of measuring our words with wisdom. If the image of the inner fortress empowers you, please like this video and subscribe to Stoic Ruler. Lesson 5. Measuring words with wisdom. Imagine an archer with a single precious arrow. They do not draw their bowstring for every fleeting target or rustle in the leaves. They wait, they observe, and they release the arrow only when the moment is right and the target is worthy. Your words are these precious arrows. This illustrates the inner conflict between our impulse to speak immediately and the wisdom of speaking deliberately. The common problem is that in the heat of a moment, especially when we feel disrespected, we unleash a volley of words without thought. We use them as weapons of defense or retaliation, only to find later that our hasty speech has worsened the situation, damaged a relationship, or revealed our own lack of composure. The pain is the regret of the spoken word, the wish that we could take back the arrows we fired so carelessly. The transformative solution is to adopt the discipline of the archer, to measure every word with wisdom before it is released. This means valuing silence over meaningless speech and prioritizing truth, kindness, and purpose in all communication. The core Stoic idea is that speech is a powerful act that should align with our highest virtues. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, reportedly said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." Measured speech is the hallmark of a disciplined mind. It demonstrates that you are not a slave to your impulses, but a master of your expression, choosing your words to build and clarify, not to destroy or confuse. To integrate this practice into your life, you must learn to pass your words through a series of gates before they are spoken. When you feel the urge to speak, especially in a tense situation, pause and ask yourself these questions silently. Is what I am about to say true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If a statement does not pass through these 3 gates, it is often best left unsaid. This simple mental checklist slows down the reactive process and forces a moment of reflection. It transforms communication from an automatic reaction into a conscious, virtuous choice. This is the practical method for ensuring your words are worthy arrows. The benefits of applying this discipline are immense. You will gain a reputation as a thoughtful, wise, and trustworthy individual. Your relationships will deepen as others learn that your words carry weight and can be trusted. Most importantly, you will protect your own inner peace, avoiding the turmoil and regret that so often follow hasty speech. This transformation is from being a reactive source of noise to being a deliberate agent of clarity and wisdom. Your motivational practice is to focus on just one of the gates for the next day, the gate of, is it necessary? Try to speak only when it adds value to the situation. Observe how this changes your interactions and your own state of mind. This is a continuous journey toward becoming a master archer of communication. By measuring our words, we retain our power. But what if we could go further? What if we could take the very energy of disrespect and use it as fuel? In our next lesson, we will learn how to turn disrespect into power. Let us know in the comments which of the 3 gates you find most challenging, and remember to subscribe for more lessons in Stoic Mastery. Lesson 6. Turning disrespect into power. Imagine an oyster catcher, a creature that takes an irritating grain of sand, an intruder, an offense, and over time transforms it into a lustrous pearl. This is a powerful metaphor for the Stoic approach to disrespect. The inner conflict is our natural tendency to view an insult as purely negative, as a wound to be nursed. We see it as a loss of dignity, a source of pain. The problem with this perspective is that it is entirely disempowering. It casts us as the victim and the other person as the victor, the one who successfully inflicted harm. This mindset drains our energy, distracts us from our goals, and chains us to the memory of the slight. The pain is the feeling of being diminished by the encounter. The truly transformative solution is to become the alchemist, the oyster catcher, and learn to turn the raw, irritating material of disrespect into a source of personal power. This is one of the most empowering tenets of Stoicism. every obstacle, every challenge, every insult can be used as fuel for our own virtue and growth. The core idea is that the disrespect itself is neutral. It is our response that determines its effect. We can choose to see it as an opportunity to practice patience, an opportunity to test our composure, an opportunity to learn something about ourselves, or even an opportunity to understand the ignorance or pain of the other person. By reframing it this way, the insult ceases to be a weapon against us and becomes a tool in our own hands. To make this alchemical process a part of your life, you must actively look for the pearl within the sand. When someone disrespects you, after holding your fortress and detaching from the initial reaction, ask yourself a different set of questions. What can I learn here? Does this criticism contain a kernel of truth I can use to improve? Is this a chance to practice the virtue of forgiveness or magnanimity? Can this person's behavior serve as a clear example of who I do not want to be? This shifts your entire frame of mind from passive victim to active student. You are now mining the situation for value, using the other person's negativity to fuel your own positive growth. The benefit of this advanced practice is the development of a truly anti-fragile personality. You will not just endure hardship and disrespect, you will actually become stronger because of it. Your self-esteem will become intrinsic, rooted in your ability to grow from all experiences rather than extrinsic, dependent on constant praise. This is the ultimate power, to be able to take the worst the world can throw at you and use it to build a better version of yourself. Your call to action is to reflect on a past instance of disrespect. Instead of replaying the hurt, try to find one lesson or one pearl of opportunity you could have extracted from it. This is the continuous practice of turning life's irritants into your greatest treasures. This ability to turn disrespect into power is not a fluke. It is the result of consistent training. Our final lesson will focus on the most crucial element of all, practicing calm as a daily discipline to make this strength your default state. Subscribe to Stoic Ruler to complete your training in becoming an unshakable force for good. Lesson 7. Practicing calm as a daily discipline. Imagine a deep, quiet fire burning steadily in the hearth of a well-tended home. It does not rage out of control, nor does it flicker and die out. It provides constant warmth and light because it is deliberately and consistently maintained. This steady fire is the image of a mind for which calm is a daily discipline. The final inner conflict is the gap between knowing these principles and embodying them. We understand the theory, but in the chaos of daily life, we forget. We revert to old, reactive patterns. The problem is that we treat calmness as an outcome we hope for, rather than a process we commit to. We wait for the world to be peaceful, to feel peaceful, which is a losing strategy. The pain is the frustration of knowing better, but failing to act better in the moments that count, leading to a cycle of regret and self-criticism. The ultimate transformative solution is to integrate the practice of calm into the very structure of your daily life, making it a non-negotiable discipline like eating or sleeping. It is the understanding that emotional resilience and composure are not innate traits, but skills that are built through relentless, patient practice. The core idea of Stoicism is that philosophy is not a subject for academic debate, but a guide for daily living. Therefore, to be a Stoic is to practice being a Stoic every single day. This daily discipline is what transforms elegant theories into embodied wisdom, turning the quiet fire from a hopeful image into your lived reality. To make this a concrete part of your life, you must schedule your practice. Carve out a small amount of time each day, perhaps in the morning before the world makes its demands, or in the evening to reflect and reset, or your calmness training. This is your sacred time. You might use it for journaling about Stoic principles, meditating on your breath, or simply sitting in silence and observing your thoughts. You could read a passage from Marcus Aurelius or Seneca and contemplate how to apply it to a specific challenge you are facing. The content of the practice is less important than the consistency of it. This daily ritual is what builds the muscle of tranquility. The crowning benefit of this discipline is that a calm and rational response will become your default setting. You will not have to consciously remember to apply these lessons in a crisis because they will have become second nature. You will simply act from a place of centered strength. This is the pinnacle of personal development, not just knowing the way, but being the way. You will have built a disciplined soul, a quiet fire that provides unwavering warmth and light for yourself and for those around you. Your final and most vital motivational exercise is to decide on your practice right now. What will it be? When will you do it? Schedule it for tomorrow. This is the first step in a lifelong, continuous journey of becoming the calm, resilient, and unshakable person you were meant to be. Today, you have learned to build your inner fortress, to measure your words, and to turn disrespect into fuel for your own magnificent fire. You now possess the keys to remaining calm and in control, no matter the provocation. Thank you for dedicating your time to this essential Stoic training. If this journey has empowered you, please like, comment with your own insights, and subscribe to the Stoic Ruler channel for more wisdom on the path to a fearless life.